Hello mga mahal! Welcome back to my learning channel. This is One Up Tutorials where you can level up your math skills with me, Miss B. So hello! Nagbabalik na naman po ang inyong resident math teacher na tutulong sa inyo para mas maintindihan nyo ang inyong mga lessons sa math. So as usual po, if you like this video, please click that like button, yung thumbs up button po na yan, at subscribe na rin po kayo para lagi kayong updated sa aking latest videos. And while you're at it, pakiclick na rin ang bell icon para every time I upload, kayo ang first view sa lahat ng videos ko. Okay? So, ano ang lesson natin for this week? This week, we are going to be learning about combinations and permutations. So, bali, ito po ay katuloy ng ating lesson last week. We've been talking about permutations and combinations individually. Now, malalaman natin ang difference nilang dalawa at paanong mag-solve ng more problems involving these two. Nasa week 3 na po tayo ng ating third quarter and pang-grade 10 po ang lesson na ito. Okay? We have two objectives or most essential learning competencies for today. Meron po tayong differentiates permutations and combinations of n objects taken r at a time and solves problems involving permutations and combinations. Okay? Now, what is a permutation? Now, a permutation actually is the arrangement or sequence of objects from a single set. So, naaral na natin to before. Diba? In a permutation, repetition is not allowed. In the same manner, the same or the element may not appear more than once in an arrangement. Parang yung nasa photo. Diba? Kung i-arrange mo si A, B, at C sa isang photo, hindi naman pwedeng nasa first slot at second slot si A, diba? Ano yun? Mag-aano siya? Ano tawag nung kay Naruto? Iko-clone niya yung sarili niya, di ba? Hindi naman ganon. So, no repetition is allowed for permutations. And then, of course, ang pinaka-importanting factor natin, the order is significant. Now, ang combination naman po, hindi siya masyadong choosy. The elements can be repeated and the order doesn't really matter. So, kung naaalala niyo po yung example natin before, if we have LM and ML for combination, it's just one and the same. But for permutation, they are two different things. Okay? Now, we're going to be looking at some examples and we're going to differentiate kung sila ba ay permutation or combination. So, the first one is, in how many ways can you choose a president, a secretary, and a treasurer for a club from 12 candidates if each candidate is eligible for each position, but no candidate can hold two positions. So, ganun naman po talaga, di ba? Hindi naman pwedeng president ka na nga, secretary ka pa. So, there should be one person for each position. So, what is this? Is this permutation or combination? So, the first thing that you have to ask yourself, does the order matter? Does it matter kung sino yung president, secretary, at treasurer? Siyempre, oo. Di ba? The order really matters dahil iba yung president sa secretary at sa treasurer. So this, my kids, is an example of permutation. Okay? Now we're going to identify our elements. Ilan ang pagpipiliin natin? We have 12. So your n is going to be 12. And then, ilan yung pipiliin natin or yung kailangan natin piliin? We have the president, the secretary, and the treasurer. So your r is going to be 3. Okay? So in order for us to solve this, we're going to use our permutation formula. So the permutation of 12, taken 3 at a time, is going to be 12 factorial divided by 12 minus 3 factorial. That is going to be 9 factorial. So ang makukuha nating sagot dito ay, bali ang mangyayari lang dito mga anak ay magka-cancel out lang yung 9 factorial kasi yung 9 factorial nasa 12 factorial na yan. So, in effect, actually, ang matitira na lang sa ating equation ay just 12 times 11 times 10. Kasi yung 987654321 na-cancel out na siya. So, this is going to be 12 times 11 times 10. It's 1,320. So, there are 1,320 ways in which we can choose the president, secretary, and the treasurer. Okay? Now, let's have the second example. In how many ways can you choose 3 students from a group of 10 to represent the class in a math contest. So, may math contest. Pipili tayo ng 3 out of 10. So, does it matter who you pick first? In this case, it doesn't. Okay? So, this, my dear kids, is a combination. Okay? Because the order of picking doesn't really matter. So, now let's use our formula for combination. Pero bago natin gawin yan, balikan muna natin. Let's identify our N and our R. So, our N is 10 and our R, excuse me po, is 3. Okay? Now, let's use our combination formula. That's going to be combination of 10 taken 3 at a time. So, that's 10 factorial divided by, remember ang difference ng combination at saka permutation formula? You have an R factorial sa ilalim. So, we're gonna put 3 factorial and then 10 minus 3 factorial, which is 7 factorial. Okay? So, ang mangyayari po dito ay matitira sa taas ay 10 times 9 times 8. Tapos, dito naman sa ilalim, kasi magka-cancel out lang si 7 factorial, you're just gonna be left with 3 times 2 times 1. So, this is going to give you an answer of 120. So, there are only 120 ways where you can pick 3 representatives. So, again, it's much less kasi the order doesn't matter for combinations. Okay? Now, I have here a series of shorter questions that we don't really need to solve, pero para lang ma-enforce natin yung difference ng combination at permutation. So, let's look at the first one. Choosing who will be the muse and escort from Class A of UA. So, ito, My Hero Academia. Dahil malapit na ang My Hero, sinong naghihintay? Ako. Anyway. So, what is this? Is this a combination or a permutation? This one is a permutation. Okay? So, isipin nyo na lang mga anak, kung merong specific rank or may specific official position na hinahanap sa problem, yan po ay isang permutation. Okay? Next, choosing 3 representatives of Class A to battle with Class B. So, syempre, My Hero na naman to. So, kapag pumipili ka lang ng representative where the order doesn't really matter, then it is a combination. Our next one, choosing 5 cards from a standard deck of cards. So, ito, does it matter kung ano yung order ng cards na pipiliin mo? Hindi naman, di ba? You're just gonna choose 5 cards. So, this is a combination. And then, of course, our last one, choosing the top 5 BTS songs. So, nakita niyo yung word na top 5. Ibig sabihin, merong ranking. At kapag may ranking, ibig sabihin, permutation. Because the order matters. Siyempre, iba yung first, no? Tsaka yung second, third, fourth, and fifth. Yan nga siya may ranking. Diba? So, sana mas nalinawan na po sa inyo kung ano yung difference ng combination and permutation. So, here are some further examples. How many ways or how many 4-digit numbers can be formed using 1, 3, 5, 6 if no repetition is allowed or if repetition is allowed? So, whether repetition is allowed or not allowed, ito po ay isang permutation because the order matters for this digit. Dahil magkaiba po ang 6, 5, 3, 1 kesa sa 1, 3, 5, 6. Tama? So, let's try to solve this problem. So, alam na natin na ito ay permutation. So, ilagay na natin siya dyan. Isa siyang permutation. So, how do we solve this? We're going to use our formula. Okay? Pero, since this is just, wala siyang taken R at a time, kasi this is a straight up permutation. You have 4 choices, tapos 4 slots lang din yung kailangan mong i-fill. So, this is just the very simple permutation or yung ating fundamental counting principle, wherein you're going to just multiply the number of choices per slot. So, kung no repetition is allowed, ibig sabihin, sa first slot, ilan ang pagpipilian natin? 4 pa. Pagdating sa second, 3 na lang. Pagdating sa third, 2 na lang. Pagdating sa last, 1 na lang. Or in short, 4 factorial. And this is gonna be 24. Now, if repetition is allowed, ano na mangyayari dun sa ating solution? On the first slot, you're gonna have 4 choices. On the second slot, 4 choices pa rin kasi pwedeng maulit yung numbers. And then on the third, 4 pa rin. On the fourth, 4 pa rin. Kasi nga, pwedeng maulit ang numbers. So this is going to be 216. So from 24, nag-jump po tayo sa 216. Okay? So this is how you solve this type of problem. Let's move on. If Pedro must answer any 5 questions on a math quiz containing 8 questions, in how many ways can he choose the 5 questions? So, syempre, i-identify muna natin, is this a P or a C? Permutation or combination? So, again, you only have one question to ask yourself, mga anak. Does the order matter? Does the order matter in which Pedro is going to pick the 5 questions? Not really, right? So, this is a combination. Okay? And because this is a combination, we know exactly the formula that we're going to use for this. You have 8 choices and you have 5 slots to fill. So it's going to be the combination of, sorry about that, 8 taken 5 at a time. So meron tayong 8 factorial divided by 5 factorial divided by ang difference nila, 8 minus 5, that's 3 factorial. So this is going to be 8 times 6 times 7, and then 3 factorial, 3 times 2 times 1. This is going to be 56. There are 56 ways on which he can choose the 5 questions. Okay? So I hope malinaw na po ito sa atin. Let's have our next example. A box contains 5 red balls, 7 green balls, and 6 yellow balls. In how many ways can these 6 balls be drawn such that there are 2 balls of each color? Again, you have to ask the same question. Does the order really matter? Look at the question. Sinabi ba dyan na kailangan yung first ball na makukuha mo ay kulay green, tapos kailangan sundan siya ng yellow? Wala naman, di ba? So the only restriction that you can find is that there should be 2 balls of each color. So, you guessed it right. This is a combination. Okay? At dahil dyan, combination formula yung gagamitin natin. But wait, naalala nyo ba kung paano isolve itong klaseng problem ito? There is a specific pool of options for each ball. Meron kang 5 red balls, 7 green balls, and 6 yellow balls. At kailangan mo lang ay 2 balls for each color. So, paano natin isosolve to? We're going to get the combination for each color. Tapos, using the fundamental counting principle, we're going to multiply your choices. Okay? I already gave an example of this doon sa ating combination video. If hindi nyo pa siya napapanood, please check it out after this. Okay? So, we're going to look for the combination of 5 taken 2 at a time times the combination of 7 taken 2 at a time times the combination of 6 taken 2 at a time. Alright? So, ang mangyayari dito, magkakaroon tayo ng 5 factorial divided by 2 factorial times 3, 7 divided by 2 factorial, 5 factorial times 6 factorial divided by 2 factorial, 6 minus 2, 4 factorial. So, ang mangyayari po dito, mga anak, meron tayong, ito yung magiging 10. Ito naman ay magiging 21. And then, yung last part, you're gonna have 15. So, that's 10 times 21 times 15. A total of 3,150 ways on picking your 6 balls. Okay? And for our last, ay wala na pala. Joke lang. So, yan na po yung last example natin for today. So, sana mas naliwanagan na po ang difference ng permutation and combination. Again, ano ang difference nila? You just have to ask yourself one question. Does the order matter? If the answer is yes, then it's a permutation. If the answer is no, then it is a combination. So, yun lamang po. Maraming salamat. This is just a very short video and I hope you still like it. Remember to please like and subscribe, and even share this video to your classmates para matulungan nyo rin sila. Okay? Maraming salamat and I'll see you guys later. Paalam!